in the sort of bag for Falcons.
Yeah, I think for good reason. I always feel as though that obviously the Falcons team have kind of been like the big brother effect to Secret. You know, it's kind of like Secret think they're really good at a video game and they've asked their big brother for a 1v1 and the big brother's been waiting for this his whole life.
It's like a cracks knuckles moment.
Kinda. Especially for like Mowgli as well. Like obviously Mowgli is still very new on this Secret roster, but he was not as always a newcomer to the league. Mowgli has never beaten this side.
Well, it was us casting, I think, when they met in the league not too long ago, and Mowgli again suffered during that game. I think it was a sort of point and comment because he'd been really, really good, really upbeat, really optimistic, and then it's just something about this game where it's not about this team. Users is like a deep-fried meme with that camera. You see how what's he playing from?
Want to hear the stat?
Always.
Mowgli has played against this Falcons team 12 times in his career and he's never beaten them.
Hey, today is the day. Today, who knows? Today might be the day. Is today the day? Damn, we'll find out. Now, in terms of how these two teams have shaped up throughout the sort of at least most recent games and setup, Secret, they found themselves a bit even-handed. I'm going to say a quieter end to a season, but from where they once sort of advertised having some of the, you know, top 10 players, it drifted a little bit. We've seen, I guess technically even less though, from the side of Falcons. Shaiko sort of sat, I think, 6th overall for the players. You've got Joom, who's been phenomenal for Secret. Potentially going to be a counter towards that, but it starts here. And with a big fish outside, EFAC catches nobody. The Clash on the roam, having a sort of fun time trying to find people. They've obviously got the long wait until pressure starts to come here, and you're wondering if time being slowed might be just, well, Secret struggling to get immediately in. Getting everything cleared, face checked, pre-firing their way through the bathroom to make sure they don't hear somebody go ow on the other side of that wall, but nobody's home.
Good for EFAC though, just to kind of gather information, and if nobody's over towards Bakery, then you kind of know what take the Secret are going to go for. It seems to be our traditional take, where you will, of course, go for the roam clear, take in towards train, and in towards raiding. EFAC's taking a lot of damage. I don't think he was aware that Joom was lurking on that window, and yeah, still alive though, but not the healthiest of flashes that you would love to have. What are you doing, EFAC? Oh dear.
I don't know if EFAC knows what they're... just huge risks there, and really didn't expect Secret to be in the positions they're in. Secret, they've got the top 2 floors cleared. They're going to start just progressively pushing. The shield is alive. That's that sort of big cost right now, but it really will not take much. And if they're deployed, you know, the side of a frag grenade, the side of a Capital bolt, and EFAC's round is over. At this point, though, there's still the pressure of fishing here, Demo.
Oh, I think I can see the vision from Falcons. Look at Bride. He's on the Ella. Ella's the player inside VIP. They have rotated Solotov over towards Kitchen. Are they maybe going to try and counter the Monty plant using an Ella mine? Is that the idea here from Falcons? I mean, it's obviously very risky, but it will work pretty well. It'll obviously bash Savage out of his fully extended state. And of course also stop him if he tries to go for a plant.
Well, finding fights and aggression up towards him. Just going to cover off the swing on the double door, and there's the drop. Savage, he goes with the fight against Bride, as Noah's able to find out Shaiko now. He hasn't quite been able to get it, and a missed throw means that they'll slip their way on by. Now the fire is buying them some time on the double door. Is it time enough to plant? It will tick out at some point as Joom gets users. Here's the go, but they've already in position, I say, for the cover. It's a post-plant situation, just misses the Monty. Solotov, he knows he's going to be under pressure soon from the swing of bottom white, but the cover is there of 4 versus 1 Falcons. Unfortunately, left things a bit too late there, and Secret cleared enough space, cleared themselves the round.
Yeah, clinical from Secret. Nothing too crazy that they went for. Again, shields on that man right there on your screen. Definitely, I think, is he top shield player in the league? Has to be. Because, I mean, he's been playing them for ages now, of course. And he does so well. See, Savage, if he can get himself in and get that plant down, you can't get rid of him. Once he's stuck where he was, just over towards bunker, pulling out all the positions there for his team. Really easy for him. You know, what do you do against him? Just not much. Just stands there, looks at you. Look at him. But yeah, good start from Secret.
Stop worrying about grenades.
1-0. Secret have themselves off to a start here. But how long can they keep this pressure up? How long do you think until Falcons sort of step in and, you know, start to push back and start to try and find a drive there? It's
10 seconds left.
at this point a bit of a false start in some regards towards Falcons. Secret had a good idea, a good read and good positioning, and they're able to punish it off the back of it.
Attackers are moving to defuse a bomb.
A thought from Falcons that you sort of piece together with the Yellow Mine, but unfortunately, you know, even if, to be honest, if that throw had connected, I don't think it really would have been the deciding factor there. It might have come down to an engagement just after that, which could have been, but it itself wasn't. Here, up towards the top, and kind of curious what use we'll start to get from this early aggression towards the site. They almost got someone on the reinforced there.
Falcons immediately wanting to switch up their game plan and, of course, go for this mid-floor bomb site. And looking at the bans for Secret, you know, those bans are obviously very centric around being able to take the top floor control really easily. You know, Castle and Azami are both great operators for denying window angles, because, again, they're a portable form of cover. Does leave, though, the Falcons with operators like the clash we did see earlier. Shaiko just 180'd onto Joom's head and takes him down. That also is quite a big blunder in the util department for Secret. That is their soft destruction gone. The ram as the first death is not a great way to start if you're Secret.
Well, what else can they do? The ram with the importance and all that verticality. You're thinking about what they really have left, which is pocket breaches at this point.
See you on the other side. EML grenade.
But it's the swing and the pressure here, the cross against the barons of the middle of the bar, and trying to find some semblance of safety on the other side. It seems like Falcons actually, they're pulling out. They're not going to sit around and wait and find out what's coming next. Instead, they've got that early pick. They can pull back. They can regroup around top white and the hatch. But Mowgli gets 1-2. Mowgli, pressure onto Lumber.
Setting C4.
And now, at this point, they've been able to flick the switch and put the pressure back in. A shotgun up white stairs. I mean, it's a risky gambit there. He's sort of pulling the pin on it and trying to put the fear on the Lumber player here, but 40 seconds. EFAC does get Mowgli. The C4 doesn't get a second player, but does then find the follow through nowhere. And the C4 then back and forth, Demo. 30 seconds to a piece.
Oh, it's a cage match right now. Both fighters just slugging blow for blow. Savage, he makes the first approach into the bomb site alongside Adrian, who will not go for the plant. This is all on Savage. You give the cover. There's one, not two though. Bride quicker on the trigger. Bride with two. A 1v2 for the clutch god of Falcons.
I mean, what else can you expect from Bride at this point, right? You always talk about the masterclass and the talent of all of these players and all of these rosters and the situation there, but that round felt a little bit more like Falcons were tuned in to Secret's approach. Obviously, the early pick onto the ram on that site, on that hole, is going to make things a lot nicer, and it's from a fight on a window. Oh, the Joom. I mean, okay, kind of filthy when you show it from that angle. Then here, two back from Mowgli, building himself the confidence, loses out on EFAC, is just being back and forth aggressive.
Attackers dropped the
And obviously Bride just getting the swing, following it round. Perfection.
Swapping back. Benji deployed.
Yeah, classic for Brady, of course. And it is one thing that we kind of looked at yesterday whenever Falcons played against against Gen G, inside of that 7-0. There was a few times where Falcons had to, go big, had to go for clutches. And it's always something that Falcons have on their side, is that they have those players who are capable of clutching up. And whenever it comes to big moments like this in big games throughout your season, you will need to rely on those players. Secret are a top team. We know it's going to be difficult for Falcons, as it will be for any team. This is what it is to have the best clashing against each other. Is things just aren't going to be as easy as going against the bottom end of the table, as obviously what we seen yesterday. We seen Ratchko, we seen Gen G. Both those teams just being outclassed by the big four.
Gotta reload.
How do Secret deal with being pushed back? They have to try and keep this pace up and keep themselves toe-to-toe aggressive with Falcons. It's control of the Malusis. The Banshees up, swinging either side of the stairs, gives them those options of freewheeling a bit later on. Brava, what a resurgence in the meta she seems to have enjoyed. Solotov holding out on the white stairs. They have the connection here, Falcons. They're not quite too far away. Rie's obviously buried on towards the site itself, but the first fight isn't shot. Users gets it, drops it. Can they rotate out of there? Yes. They tried to drop down and find the angle on the bottom of the window in Christmas door, but they couldn't quite get there in time. And oh, that's another blow. The IQ gone.
Moving shield.
Now,
Stay vigilant.
what are Secret going to try and do, rebuilding again with the man disadvantage?
Just I wonder how they're going to deal with it with the clash, though. Don't really have a hard counter to it, apart from maybe trying to EMP the shield to stop the taser effect, but then it's still the shield that you have to go up against. So honestly, I think EFAC right now in the position he's in, he fully denies access to Piano, and that's an area that Secret would like to get into because it gives them that hatch, of course, and also the vertical pressure. But Falcons just going to play it tight and play around that clash.
Ooh, will they catch a loose player at this point? It just seems like no is the answer.
Hatch.
Yep, they're gone. Falcons, they're really not overstaying their welcome here. I think they know that Secret love to play on that engagement game. They love just trying to find a fight and encircle somebody, but they're chasing ghosts, Demo. Doom takes a lot of damage from somewhere. Not entirely sure what hurt them in that moment, but as they start through the verticalities, 20 seconds. Savage finally finds the first. They know exactly where the clash is, but there's Users on the back of the clash's read. Swings around wide. 15 seconds to get a plant. They're toe-to-toe with the clash. They're pulled back, waiting for the swing against them. But Doom, certainly all that's left as his team crumbles elsewhere. Falcons, well, 1 down to 2-1 up.
Yeah, Falcons, I think, just playing pretty relaxed. Not much really fazed them. Secret, pretty slow though, weren't they? Only getting in towards that top floor with about a minute left. I think they're quite fortunate, the Falcons. They themselves even said, you know what, let's just fall back. Because they could have held that top floor really well. Like I mentioned, they didn't have a good counter to the clash, so taking Piano would have been troublesome for them. But no, they decided, well, we'll just fall back. We'll play in towards the mid floor and towards raiding, which we still have control of. And yeah, very easy then from Falcons to play with the time, knowing that Secret are going to be in a rush. They're going to be missing simple checks. For example, the player inside a pillar didn't know that a guy was inside raiding, ready to swing him from that doorway. I think that kind of shows it.
The tactical timeout already. Secret lost the momentum. They had a good, strong first round. Things got a bit back and forth in the second. And then they've just not really been able to get a handle on Falcons players since then. So the early timeout here, I mean, how does that sort of bode in the grandest scheme of things, right? How does that speak to the mentality of what Secret think they should be achieving? And to be honest, what do they think is going wrong here, do you think, Demo? What's in that conversation?
Well, I certainly think that 1v2 that Brady had was maybe hit them for a little bit, and then going into this round, it's they seem a little more timid. I think the pacing kind of shown it. It's not the same go aggressive, try and find the picks. It's very slow for Secret. And you mentioned before, they like to fight. They have the gunners to take those fights. Doom is always the player I look towards for this secret team. I think he's an outstanding player, and he has been since he's joined really the league. Even you think back to his heroic days.
Yeah.
Doom has always been consistent, a consistent player, and I think whenever he himself is just not really getting his openings, because we know that Jim likes to kind of rap for his first pick, doesn't he? He'll just appear as though he's in the walls. He's kind of like phase shift through the walls at some point. You think, how's he got there? And whenever Falcons aren't giving them that simple opening pick, you can see it does slow Secret down massively. So I think Falcons have came in with a very good game plan, though. You have to give credit to them.
I think it's sort of that element of Falcons' game, though. It's always been strong plan backed by strong gunners. And they can be a bit malleable. They can clutch out as frequently as they do, but it seems like they always pay the respect needed towards their opponents. This is one of those cases where they're just sort of, you know, keeping Secret a little bit
Unless you're
at bay.
called Wild.
Unless you're called Wild, but keeping Secret a bit at bay, putting themselves in those situations, and you know, Secret getting in their head. And especially after this round here, we're up towards the top floor. Adrian, yeah, great pinch on towards Solotov.
It's good for Secret. First pick in the bag. Looking at their lineup, plenty of util still to clear away areas such as Cocktail in towards Pixel, because you've got those nades. Falcons, plenty of C4s though, Fluke, has to be noted, 3 of them. So that does give them potential to drop down later if they want. Hello, Mowgli! We haven't placed our track stingers properly!
Oh no. There's Adrian getting himself a second. The fight on top white.
Adrian?
1 versus 1.
Hello? In a 1v1 all of a sudden, what's happened? He's on for the ace. He's up against EFAC. He knows where he is. He doesn't have the kit, though. Is Adrian going to try and play kills? He is up against, of course, that SMG and shotgun combo. We'll fire at the Twitch drone, but EFAC is playing this really well. Playing it nice and passive. There goes the Twitch drone, and EFAC now just backpedal. "30 seconds. Has got the diffuser in hand. Let's see if he can get things moving upstairs, but still plenty of info, I think, for EFAC now that he knows exactly where he is. And Adrian, again, don't forget, is on for the ace, but Adrian's lost that tempo. He just doesn't know where EFAC is, and that timer slowly get away from an EFAC with a swing. Steps up where his team needed him the most. Commiserations to Adrian. But Falcons, again, clutching up right when they need to. Oh.
I wish I could offer you more right now, Demo. You're
Just seen your message.
unfortunately, my feed stopped working at a very important moment of that. I'm just trying to
Did I
get it back
describe
up.
it well to you?
I was hanging on every single word. You're still in the driver's seat of this right now, Demo.
So I'm the eyes of the operation here.
You're the eyes. I am, which is rough because I'm the play-by-play, so it's not going to be easy.
Little do you know, we both were born in the community cast where it was a one-person show. I think you forget this.
10 seconds left.
I think I remember I had to do play-by-play one time, and my voice
bet.
was just shot. Like, that's why I prefer not to do it, because I like my voice, and I don't know how some of you do it. Basically, you must be absolutely shot in bits.
We all have different styles and different ways.
Yeah.
The two that always baffle me, they need to be studied by scientists, is Ace and Dev. Solotov will not get studied this round. They'll get shot in the head. Because those two are like, 200 decibels off the rip.
Yeah.
Round 1, 500 decibels. and then they keep it up, and then they'll like be like, "No, I'm fine, mate." I'm like, "Dev, how do you do this?"
Parker
Anyway.
casts one game and says, "I need throat coat."
Can I have some throat coat?
Just it's fun. Yeah.
3-1. Falcons, and as you said, you took over the end of the last round brilliantly, but we have Shield on the board. The blitz in the pocket of Savage this time. There was talk and reference towards Shields utilized. It's had some sort of utilization in the build-up towards this point. The Monty got a bit of a play. Hasn't really been seen since. So is the blitz in that position instead going to be that difference maker? They've got a lot less that they can sort of work with. It's going to be easy for Falcons to sort of get the catch on that player. Otherwise, though, with the man disadvantage, Solotov again is an unfortunate early kill twice in a row.
Yeah, not a great start for Solotov, 1 and 5. I thought he was really good yesterday in their game, but today not having the same success. Now, certainly for Secret, with that Monty ban, like you mentioned, it will force that blitz into the hands of Savage, and it won't give him the same potential in terms of going for the plant, but certainly in terms of going aggressive on hunting for kills, and yeah, that's where Blitz really excels. But Secret, just steady as it goes right now. Same play, going above, using the verticality. Actually looks as though they're going to rotate the shield to maybe go in through front door straight into Coat if they want to, or try and challenge on the EFAC, and Savage should get his man. Misses a few pistols, but yeah.
Behind him.
Should be. Hello, Savage, where are we looking? Where are we going? His back goes out.
No,
What on earth have I just watched? It doesn't matter. A Secret are storming for the bomb site. A 1v2 now it looks for Uses. Adrian and Jum just have to take their time and figure out where he is and close this out.
So, they knew exactly where each other were. They have a decent awareness, but what Users could do is rotate out and background. That's what he was waiting for. He doesn't want to give them the direct fight towards him, but they're going to go inside and potentially just try and rush towards the other plant. Gets rid of the air jab. They know they can try and plant this. He wants the 1 versus 1. Swings his way back in. Oh, there's the first engagement being Adrian. Holds the line, holds the fight, and holds the round. I mean, scrappy on the bar by the double doors, I think is the fairest way of putting out whatever happened there, Demo.
Oh, it's Savage. It's like Spider-Man 2, where he's trying to hold the train baggers, and he's got the two webs in the sand, thinking, I have to try and hold this train. Fellas, can I get a little bit of help here? Oh my.
Hey, the rest of the team said you want to get to him, you gotta go through us.
Look at this. I'm trying my best, boys. Help me.
Mowgli comes in, gets gunned, and then it's Noah that has the cover. Because I saw that happen, I was like, oh no, like, Secret's cooked. But then at the same second, somebody else came in from the double window at the bottom and swung the bottom of Brown stairs. So they were able to get the trade out and able to just win it out. But it was like,
What a mess.
ooh, close. 3-2.
One game so far. I'm liking this. A lot of
10
tension,
seconds to
because
go.
really, it's hard to call where a lot of these rounds are going.
5 seconds left before insertion.
At points impossible. It's hard to call how engagements are going in this game often, but it seems like even with how things are stacking up, this is a really strange correlation here between these two teams. Anyway, we progress steady on. They've got the Jaeger to potentially try and just slow down some of the pressure that's coming onto the sort of back end of the site and the hold. It's been an all right focus from the utility game, but it's not really been netting too many players to Falcons. However, what it has been doing is pushing a lot of Falcons players back. We've commented on a few times, they'll get 1 kill, hang around hatches before they go for the drop. It's a different sort of situation. As the same on goes, if they can just catch utility and get rid of it, then they don't have to move. Secret will find themselves slowed. Savage wants to just creep his way up Brown stairs and go for a pinch at the same time that they seem to want to hit a lot of different angles. You can see Secret are trying to run the numbers on a 3-2-1, but I don't think they know what their go is yet. They're trying to find where they should direct it.
Yeah, they're a little bit all over the place. Just looking for a cap, but Falcons are playing this pretty tight at the moment, but They say that, though. Users will be taken out from the skylight. He must have exposed himself, so a rookie mistake there from the Jaeger. Now Secret, that will give them that top floor control, because obviously EFAC now has to force his way back, because he doesn't have that support of his teammate, and himself gets pinched out. I had no idea that Mowgli was also in towards that top floor. Shaiko able to find one as he swings out the white window. Keep in mind as well to eliminate Adrian, that top performer for Secret in this game so far. Now we are once again in a position where Falcons are behind, but we know that that doesn't necessarily mean that they're down and out. They can play back from this.
Boogie on the field.
Now with that position, a minute on and some of the control on white stairs, you can see that Shaiko really wants to try and retake, but Mowgli just had that slightly snappier moment as Shaiko's reticule drifted to Mowgli's head. That was surely not, but pulls it together. The grenade will be followed up perfectly by Savage. Move behind the utility. They entirely had Solitov surrounded. Leaves just Breed it. Now, we did a 1 versus 2 last time, but too much of a distance to cover this time round.
Big round for Secret. They needed that as well to even up the half. Good from them. Again, that top floor is taken every single time. No real issues with that clash. And I think EFAC a few times in the clash, he just kind of running around, not really knowing where he's going, and he dies from it. That certainly is what was shown. So, obviously for Falcons, it's a half where they were leading pretty well. They were 3-1 up, and they've dropped those past 2 defenses. Secret have rallied. I think overall, certainly Secret has played the better Siege.
I think that's very fair to say. I mean, you're up against what a well put together defense is. You can see that from the face of EFAC and the conversations that Falcons are having, they are stressed by the approaches that are put. And Cafe isn't an easy one to attack on the sort of best of days. It's an intricate map. You've got to be quite sharp with it. You've got to be willing to do things like this and just throw the engagements. But look at how Secret, they're drawing the attention to multiple different ways at once. They know how dangerous Falcons are. They're treating them like a wild animal and being like, you know, look over here. Okay, now coming from that angle and go with this. And it's just a very well patterned approach. But now they have the different problem of Falcons on the attack. Is this going to be something where Falcons can try and drive some? Because they too are pretty good on their attacks. I think 57% of their most recent games. Don't know how they sort of shaped up in the whole league, but I wouldn't be surprised if they were near the top. I'll have a very quick look. They were the 2nd best attacking team.
Yeah, I think whenever you have a great mind on your side, like EFAC calling the shots, you should have a pretty good attacking kind of lineup. And Falcons, see how they get on first with mid-floor defense as we head straight into the train museum side of things, which they are a 4-play bomb site, but Secret have decided to let her loose right from the get-go. Falcons in their lineup. Again, seems to be pretty controlled, certainly towards the windows. Of course, with Shaiko on that Nomad, it'll help out. They'll play that game. Maybe lacking just a little bit of self-destruction. I guess for this bomb set, if you are just looking at taking in towards red stairs and then in through the museum, then really all you need is the hatch. So as long as you get the hatch open, it should be fine. Which, I don't know if it's reinforced or not, if it's just going to be laid open. I assume it's open because there's a player inside piano and you kind of needed to give him an escape route.
Well, who needs an escape route when you can just get shot in the face? You cover now. He's trying to find his way out.
What a pick.
Gets a great take onto a Solitov. There's still a fight that's happening, and Mowgli pushes up into shop round the back of Mowgli. Get Shaiko, he wants the 3rd. Now, Adrian isn't far away, but the aggression there, you said, how do you get a man out of the pixel corner? Send Mowgli through the shop. Gets the pick onto the back of the shield, then swings onto Shaiko on the Nomad, who's suddenly surrounded. And then just pull back to 4 versus 2. And think about what they really have left to work with here. EFAC and users have to try and piece something together, but with no real time to do the verticalities, none of the pressure, none of the build towards it. Sure, you can get a couple of angles, but you know, at what point and at what place are you going to try and make this stick demo? You need to get some gunfights out of Secret, and Secret just aren't offering them.
And the hatch is reinforced, by the way. Secret have done that. And with no hard bridge being brought into the lineup for Falcons, it should be good as dead. All they can do is push in through doorways, and as long as Secret don't give away any silly picks, it should be okay. There was one, but thankfully there has been the trade, so it does leave Usus all by his lonesome against 3 Secret players, one of which is upstairs, but Mowgli sees to that, and Mowgli with a free piece. I'm really happy to see him step up today. I've mentioned before, he's never beaten this side. This would be a fantastic way to do it on his big game, of course.
I mean,
inside of
imagine.
playoffs, playing for a lot. And for Mowgli, if he does step up, and honestly, if he gets the MVP and carries his team, that would be what a story for more redemption arc.
I mean, just this little bit of motion, getting into that situation, getting the down, and then doubling down as well. It's a confidence that Mowgli doesn't often show in the showdowns against this roster of players in their iterations, in their previous orgs, since the dawn of Siege time.
Bomb located by attackers.
But as we take a very scenic look at a very orange building. I like the distance, actually. There's something fun with the new sound design and the new sound engine, and that camera specifically is it gives you a taste of what it sounds like to somebody that's just walking by the building as teams are setting up. If we do it again and we ever have that camera again, just listen out. Imagine if you were just walking down the road and you heard those noises inside a building. It'd be like, I need to go. I need to get.
What's going on in there?
I need to get out of here. I don't know what this is. 4-3, Secret. They have themselves a step and advantage, and the answer Falcons want is 2 shields. Solotov and Brede going to try and double down the bullying in a different manner and see if they can try and shake the top and see what falls. Now, Savage is tempted by a run, but Usus has the watch on this. It's a very well-known one. The fight is actually going to come into his favor. Does he know? Oh, there was a risk played there, but Evac does at least force the player further back.
No picks yet. Secret, obviously fishing for that aggressive positions that they are in and going for, but Falcons able to get into the building unscathed, and they're going pretty quick here, already pushing away in towards the guard shot, but anywhere the Doom now has made this play with the shield, but Doom himself gets taken out. Shaiko a 1 for 2 for Shaiko with a DMR. Secret being torn to shreds. What is this from Falcons? What a play!
I mean, they're under the cover of smoke. They're bullying people with shields. They lose one of them. But then suddenly it's one player left from the side of Secret underneath. And, you know, I said it was a sort of start where they forced Savage away from that door, but unfortunately that was still far away from the impact of the round itself. And it's not... I'm trying to think how to phrase that round in the context of it being done by Falcons.
You've heard of pulled pork. There's pulled Secret. That's what's happened to them.
Delicious. I mean, yeah, well played. Just sort of had Doom setting up here, but I was unaware of the swing of Shaiko. Gets one, gets the cross, and then Falcons just don't stop. Yeah, they had the roll of the smoke canisters, the sense gadgets, they had the blind across the top floor, but at the same time, there was a couple of moments and swings there where I think Secret, I'm not going to say panicked.
I think they did, and I was going to mention this, yeah. It looked as though that players then just started moving out of position.
Yeah.
For no real reason.
I think that was like...
5 seconds.
Yeah, they thought everything was going to happen behind it. They tried to get in positions to stop it. But in doing that, they didn't account for that one extra thing, which is a lot of teams won't immediately throw themselves entirely into those plays, especially good teams. They will come with contingencies, and that contingency this time happened to be Shaiko shooting people in the face from top red.
As he does oh so well.
Yeah.
So, Falcons have a bakery all to deal with, as that is where all of their players are currently stationed outside of that double door. Now, you would like to think, look, that this bakery would be dealt with quite easily with their lineup. We've got a Capitao in there, for example, and even the Aurora as well to block off maybe the wedding door. And then you can just jump straight in as a shield, for example. But there's this Goyo, and what are you... Hello, Jum? What are you doing? You think there'll just be one guy?
I mean, I'm not going to say it's turning into a little bit of silly season, but definitely silly moments are starting to happen across this game. Jum's gone down. Now, without the Goyo, you assume they've got themselves stacked in. There's a big utility juggle here on towards the Raura. And the gadget tip, you know, it's pulling out some of the destruction. It's pulling out some of the play. The impact will throw through. Solotov cooked to death. I'm assuming the impact took the brunt there as Solotov stepped in, so maybe thought he could get in and get out of the way, but suddenly is hit by the impact that takes away half his health, so they lose the glass. Now the Blackbeard is trying to find the fight onto Prep. They've rotated somebody round down, but you know, Noah's caught out, couldn't really escape anywhere. Falcons bleed their way in, but the door opens up. Nobody on the other side of it. Nifak can now hold and watch and wait on this rotate.
Yeah, a little bit messy from Falcons, but still they've been able to get their way in towards Bakery and still have that man advantage. Weefak, he's just going to see if he can try and hold down that wedding, but he exposed himself to Mowgli, an easy pre-fire, and now that leaves wedding as a potential flank avenue here for Secret, and it's one that I think they're going to have to abuse because Falcons are hunkered in and going in for prep and trying to force their way with this fight over towards Savage with that shotgun close, of course, but he seems to be stalling out ever so slightly. The shotgun will hit legs, but Savage goes down, exposed himself to that player towards Pratt. Mowgli's attempt at that flank, but Shaika was on it. Now Adrian has to step up in a 1v3. Oh dear, here comes the Blackbeard. Gives away his position. Pistol comes out, but not going to help him. Brede cleans it up. Falcons, a very messy round fluke. A lot of different issues there for them. I think Solotov jumped in through Wedding whenever there were still flames instead of just waiting for it to be extinguished. They really struggled getting Noah out. Noah was dodging arrows and nades, everything. And then they kind of stalled out there. They lost their Wedding player. Potential flank there from Secret. Don't know how they've been able to come away with that, but they have.
Yeah, you know, as I said, is it silly season? I don't really know. Falcons, they ended up with 3 players, so this was the fight there. I mean, threw it at the Blackbeard. Just went for the second, so here's the death. So they hop in and try to move out of the way. Yeah, so I was right. The impact did most of the damage. They thought they would be free. Great take there from Mowgli. But again, at this point, you know, 30 seconds. They're trying to slow down the gadget. They're in a 3 versus 3, but the Blackbeard was that difference factor. The Blackbeard was able to bait the first kill in. They were hoping they were watching the other way, couldn't. And then as soon as they rotated back around, they were caught out. And then it just put all the pressure in at the same time as Mowgli being caught out in a 1 versus 1 in the back end. Yeah, is it the right decision? Is it the wrong decision? It's impossible to sort of always call that because we know more than they do, yada yada, but credit to a Blackbeard that was really the defining factor there, was just able to frontline and draw all that lovely, lovely attention.
Oh, well, Secret losing the game. Only about 1 round, of course, but still need to get themselves back in and certainly win this round. If they lose this one, Luke, then they are at the mercy of course, that 6 rounds and then having to force their way into an OT at that stage. Falcons, again, doing okay. Not being the greatest of siege from them, but still able to win the rounds where they can. Now, as we head into this bomb site, naturally you kind of look at it from Secret's POV. It's all about trying to slow that approach from Falcons in towards that top floor. You know, and they've done that well the last time they were here. Now, for Falcons, I think the main adaptation they need to have is mostly just someone on that skylight. You know, Mowgli made a big play, which could have been easily countered by 1 player in 1 position.
At this point now, a minute ticked on, and they're just trying to see if they can get a catch here of Secret. We talked about how you know, you can sort of hold on to these positions, how you cut your lifelines off, and how Falcons is going to try and run that number, run that map. Players, there's just a steady, slow read from underneath, waiting for a swing in to happen. The IQ is trying to counter that as best as possible and catches at least some attention of a free place. But as Noah gets Solotov, focusing maybe on the wrong things, Noah on this pixel position deemed themselves very effective at it.
Solotov not had a great game, really hasn't. Struggling, I think, just in the opening kill department. He just has not been proficient in that whatsoever. Noah from Pixel. It's a great shot, but there's that Blackbeard has to deal with. Savage able to take efac though. Finally, down goes Noah, but work has been done for Secret. Shaiko and Bride.
Oh, do they know?
Left against four. And
oh
no. Oh,
no, they
dear.
don't. Adrian. You can see him just crouched, waiting for that appearance, and it leaves just Bride. And it was very well played there by Secret. They sort of pulled Falcons into this play, into this plan, and then just always had somebody else on that shoulder, that byline of cover, and able to sort of make a crosshatch of the site itself. And now, look at how Secret have positioned themselves. All of them generically have pulled themselves back, apart from Savage, but, well, he was sick and tired of waiting for the end of the round. Tied up once again, Demo.
Secret needed that round. Really did. And now they maybe have a chance of going into this next round with a chance at being the first team in match point. Timeout for Falcons has been called. Wasn't a good round again from Falcons. It just really struggling with that bomb site. I mean, it's not even the bomb site. It just seems to be a general lack of being able to clear away players in towards that top floor.
Well, the fact that they've sort of obviously pulled their tack time out here at this point, it gives both teams time to talk. Seems to be a lot of listening going on from the side of Falcons. To be honest, there often is, right? It's big discussions with an IGL and the coach behind them, and you know, they seem to always have a good habit of a lot of trust in trusting each other to understand what's going on. And if they have a loud voice sort of saying, like, do this, let's do this, we can pull this together, they can operate on it pretty well. They just got to try and push this one over the edge, but at the same time, you know, Secret, very, very sort of similar in that regard. You look at the rosters and you look at sort of historically, obviously, what they've been able to get done with Stuflex and Eagle Maze and you know, Julio as well now added towards the back of the Falcons roster, and then the split of Secret having Twister and Vivus, and it's just big brains all across the board, and you can feel that, and also how these two teams are hitting each other. As you said it before, Secret have probably played some of this a bit better at points, but it doesn't mean that either of them is playing sloppily. It's generically been clean with some silly moments.
Attackers are moving to defuse a bomb. Swapping!
So, see at Secret, they're not in a hurry to go back to that top floor after really what happened to them the last time, where Falcons went for that pretty bold rush, and Secret then opting for their next mid-floor defense in towards that reading, of course. And for Falcons, I don't think the lineup has changed a massive amount, as it seems to be the kind of same operators every single time, the core of that mostly being the Blackbeard and also the Lion. They've been the two mainstays, and really it's a bit of a mix between kind of the util operators, and it's going to be a Thatcher and an Ace, and then also the Recruit to make up the core of trying to clear away a lot of the reinforced walls, which are also electrified, as Secret have got the Mute and also the Cade they have to deal with, and it should just be a matter of time before these Selmas get stuck to that wall. But Secret happy enough just to hold fire for the meantime.
Talking of holding fire on the fire, and they pop it immediately. As the pressure starts to come around, they're just going to make sure that there isn't an immediate swing behind it, but...
Right. Okay. Did you see him just face plant on his desk, by the way?
Like, the card specifically to that during what was a sharp execute, we're seeing all of this take. It cuts to Tube blowing himself back up and then immediately cuts back to the action. Pressure towards bathroom onto Lumber. You can see they're holding up the player on the white window. Usus is caught out from underneath by Savage, but Savage comes off worse and Mowgli are traded out. It's 2 for 1, leaving just Usus alone. The sacrifice of Doom paid off. It was like a Family Guy cutaway. It was...
I think you need to take a moment just to pull yourself together.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
I don't know what's happened to Falcons. Things are looking really good. They were gifted a free kill, but then Mowgli hit some immense shots, and that look once again for Falcons. It leaves them in a clutch position. Usus has to try and do the dirty work. I don't think he knows that someone's above him, and Pillar, who just barely missed him, will make that long walk down towards 90. Back towards Pillar he goes, and we'll get at least an exit onto Noah, but you just don't see the remaining 3 tossing this one away, and they don't. Savage loving that round, and Secret match point 6-5 they lead.
I'm waiting to see if it's in the replays.
Oh, well, I think Jim just told them what's happened.
You can see it on his face. Listen, workplace accidents happen all the time. Unfortunately not.
Bad for Mowgli. Wow.
I mean, that getting 1 and then the half in the trade, obviously we've seen a lot of trades in this build of the game. There, at that point, it's the 1 versus 3s, doesn't really have a choice. 6-5, Secret. If they can do what has felt very tough this game and just secure some actual control over the round difference, push themselves into the second map. The second map being theirs to operate on. Want to try and avoid bank as a third, I think is fair, even though the streak was broken for Falcons. Still not a map you want to test them on.
I think fresh in as well. It's still a really good map for Secret, though. They've always looked comfortable on that map, so it's a decider. It'll suit both teams.
Yeah, but Secret, I don't think always look comfortable in do or die games against Falcons.
They're doing it right now. They're currently winning.
Well, it's not do or die yet.
Every round's do or die for Savage. The way he reacts after every round.
That's true. And every round for Doom is do and sometimes do and die.
Yeah. Do and see for yourself.
6-5.
You're still laughing at that. Come on, it's happened over a round ago.
I have to meet Tukov.
Yep.
Very bright colored skin on a sneaky operator. As we get the steady read up towards, maybe hoping to just get a backstab on towards white. They're drawing some attention away, but it seems like there might be some awareness, actually, of this attempted pressure, and said no, sorry, EFAC cut across, moved over to red, but now wants to push towards white. There's a weighing up here of Falcons. I would say they know how precious the first engagement is, but sometimes even when they've got it, it hasn't quite netted the result. Here's the Nook now, but there's somebody down brown. Savage. Yeah. They're either going to get caught out or catch something big, because you can see obviously EFAC is watching, waiting. There's the movement from Savage, maybe. Are they coming up? They are. Duh, duh. It's 2 people, both ready in a position to hit either side. There, did they hear that? There's the strike. There needs to be a response, but it's the hop out from Savage underneath. He was aiming at somebody else. Mowgli goes down to Shaiko. They're still getting some control here over the top, but they pull back. They don't want to give them one more engagement. There's the fight. Pulled out, the pings come together. They're going to try and flood their way in, but as you said, one's on site. But it's someone who can do things like that. Noah doubles down either side. Brede on the back line. He's in a close engagement with Savage. Ready to swing round. Just drifts right on by. Entirely misses the man. 2 apiece. 2-1. Doom. An early exit last time. Could be the big finish this time round. The Clash might not know that they're rotating all the way over the top. Slipping their way around. Waiting for the fight. At this point, it's being planted. Oh, but they know where he is. He slips by the first. He goes for the second. Gets the drop onto Brede. Doesn't have the shield. Waiting for the swing. Wants the engagement with the player. Called out on the drone. Here's the deploy. Here's the usage. It's going to slow them round. It's going to force them into a slightly different position, but they can always charge elsewhere. Swings. Goes with the bait either side. Doom! Okay, he might have made a mistake the previous round, but he clutches up the map for Secret. And they have taken Falcons' map from them.
You could sense there was tension in that team. Secret, I think, are just happy to get that map out of the way with and then push on, knowing that they'll be very comfortable now coming into layer and, of course, if needed, into bite. So I think the confidence is going to be with Secret. I always think for Secret, the issue was getting past that first map, especially for someone like Mowgli, who we've mentioned, has never beaten this side. You know, getting that first map must feel massive for Mowgli.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better feeling. You couldn't ask for a better moment, and you couldn't ask for a better bit of adrenaline spiking than, oh my God, I could do it. We could do it. We're there. We're knocking on the door of it. At the same time, as pointed out by you, as pointed out by the desk, is probably pointed out by Twitch chat, they were struggling at the end of the map. You could see EFAC was passionate. He always is. It's part of why he's so great. But they need to try and just cement themselves here. If things start to get away from them early on, which there's a possibility because, you know, you assume here coming into lair that we'll have the start on the defense here for Secret. Percent to Falcons, so it's fell 3% since the last, but Falcons fan base still holding strong. No, in fact, Falcons starting on the defense demo.
10 seconds to insertion.
We've only seen both these teams play this map once during the regular stage, and it was both during Playday 3. We've seen Secret up against Wolves, where they took a 7-5 victory. Then we had Falcons up against Genji, and it was a 7-1 victory. So both these teams have won this map in this stage. If we break down how the split went, Secret on their attacks, they were able to get free attacks. And then whenever we look at Falcons on their defense, they were able to take 5 against Genji. So Secret comfortable enough playing the attacks, but Falcons looked really good in the defense the last time we've seen them play this map.
I think the thing about it as well is if I sort of stretch the data to just get a little bit more of a whole fact, hey, Secret generically better on their attack on this map than they are on their defense, as weird as that is to say, but the defensive win rate of Falcons total over the 5 times that they've played this, not 10, they have got themselves 68% on their defense, which is pretty good. And there's the opener. Shaiko finds Mowgli, finds the man who is living the dream. Unfortunately, maybe this is the start of the nightmare.
Shaiko just swings, reach and wins it. As he does, Mowgli will be thinking, why is he doing that? Why is he there? But Shaiko will take advantage of the fact and able to get that first pick. Now, certainly for Secret, kind of look at the operator that Savage is on right now with the Amaru. You kind of thought that they were maybe going to be looking for a bit of a hatch push, wouldn't you? Because that's where Amaru comes in really handy. But whenever he's currently pushing in alongside Chum, who somehow finds 2, how did he get the second one? Shaiko just giving himself up. You start to kind of question what Falcons are doing now, as Secret are right back in this round.
And there's a Savage.
Hello?
Just swinging on the close corner to find out his fight for Clash Shield. Doom somehow wins it out. For his third, pistols at dawn and at dusk, and the fight kept going, so another dawn. But now, closing down on users. Break that down for me, buddy.
No, I double it, pass it next person.
No, I've got to break it down. Don't really know what to say. We are... I mean, yeah, do a call it fresh, call it. No, it's surprising, but you got to give credit there to Doom especially, right? So the first kill goes away because he swings the breach.
Yeah.
You don't expect it, but
fair enough. Just
Doom.
that pick. What's Shaiko doing? Why?
He's just unaware of that angle, I guess. Yeah, I'm not sure why the Tachanka decided. Maybe they thought June's alone. Let's push him. He's just done this on the back. We need to get that trade
Attackers have
kill.
recovered.
That happens. And then that happens. And okay, what a way to start. Secret, one up.
Weird. And I think the general feeling that people have had about Falcons this stage is, yes, they've won their games. They got top 2, which was expected. But I almost feel as though that Falcons has kind of been built like this team, where whenever it comes to regional leagues, they're indestructible. And for a vast period as well during the year, playing in every single grand final of the year, you kind of think, wow, this team really is that good. And I have seen a slight drop-off from them this stage, certainly, and I think it's been noticed by a lot of people. And maybe if we set the expectations way too high for this team, it's almost as though the Falcons don't go in and 7-0 their opponent, they're bad. That's what it feels like sometimes.
Well, Secret, they get the lead up, they get that first step, and Falcons can probably write that one off, as they kind of did last time. Think about how the last map opened, right? There was a little bit of a surprise moment, and then there was the plant, and Secret were able to pull it out back and forth on their attacks, and here, a different kettle of fish, a different display of pace. On the defense of Falcons, then they pulled back 3 defenses, round after round after round. So it's not a... Doom finds users just watching on towards the stair rotate back down and cuts the middle floor, and then almost! So close!
Any other gun he would have killed.
Yep.
Punish. Well, Falcons just seems to be a bit of a lash out. Losing 2 picks inside the first half of the round, and forget it's on a basement where typically we see teams will like to bunker. Whenever you've got operators like Goyo available to yourself, you will flash up. You can smoke if they wanted to bring them as well, all available. And they've just, I don't know, they've just gone to some solo roams and died. And now for Secret, this is everything that they wanted. You know, Secret's done this really well on Cafe. Whenever they got that advantage, especially if you looked at how they attacked their kitchen, they just move in, they use their util, they open up the vertical angles, and then they just maneuver in for that plant. That's the main focus that Secret will have now, is where are we going to plant?
Well, there goes Solotov, and they're just picking them apart here. Demo. Shaiko, cannot get anything there on Mowgli, but the round was over anyway. A flawless second from Secret. That was very clean.
Secret looking good. Really sharp. 2-0 they lead. Look at that round. Just where you expect it to plan out. 5v3 for Secret. Just run-of-the-mill stuff. It's almost like dry runs at that stage, isn't it? Go through the motions. Falcons, I worry. I do. I worry for them. I think with the manner of how they've just lost this round, the game plan needs to change. I mean, EFAC went for a solo run by himself. It's not the play. Not against a team like Secret. It's all right if you're doing it against the likes of, you know, your Wilds, your Gen Gs, but certainly not against a team like Secret and the caliber of that side. Whenever you've got players on Secret who you know are stepping up to the plate, you look at Mowgli. He had a great first map. He'll continue that. Doom always going to be there. It's frustrating. That's the way I describe it.
And still steadily continue here for now. They're going to see if they can try and get a different place to land. As we said before, or I was sort of quoting the statistics, in the grand scheme of things over the past sort of year of the chances of playing Lair, attack is where Secret haven't been as hot as on their defense, but the Falcons' defense was hotter than pretty much anybody's, as the full statistics. Here already, dropping 2 rounds. Sort of plays into it. One more and they've fallen quite short of, I think it was the 68%. 22 of 32 defenses they've taken over the past year of Lair. Falcons have found a recipe for success, but can they try and push it here? Towards the third site. They have some... Fact's going to play a very dangerous role. He's hoping they want to slip in and he can sort of sit here. But if any pressure comes from green, he could be in a very, very worrisome spot. Instead, well, that's what Noah's sort of getting the read on. They've got the Kiba, but do they have the person who throws them?
Frag grenade.
Secret just probing the bomb site, and of course we've seen Lair earlier in our best of 3 against G2 and VP, and I think both teams played it very strange where they just tried to stroll in and hope that a plant would work. I hope that Secret don't get the same idea, because it's very tricky to do so. I would like to see them apply some pressure to those players above so they just can't play in the vertical angles. But they have made EFAC's job very difficult with opening all of the walls around them, and it's forced them all the way back into security. And of course with those scents as well, you always have to be careful that you can maybe just try and sense off some angles and maybe try and rush down EFAC and gain control of site that way.
They're using the track stingers to try and stop the rotate and the swing round. They've got themselves an angle here, but without the verticality, I mean, how many times, Demo, have we seen this crumble? Without the verticality, well, Savage pops in, will raise some warning sort of alarms. There needs to be something behind it, though. You can see Shaiko and Bride, they're trying to keep themselves aware and cohesive on the actual approach down below, but they have to now be concerned. Adrian suffers a scrape of damage. EFAC suffers a little bit more. They're still trying to watch both sides, and that's the player inside the site gone. So now, 30 seconds. Do you try and push the vertical? Take the fight. Savage makes their presence known just a little bit, but doesn't over-egg the pudding and holds on to the angle for now. It's pinched either side. There's some pressure coming behind, but they still need to try and work that kid in. There's the go. The roll of the sense and the ROU gadget and the cover of the goo mines, but a shotgun round a corner. Oh, is he too far? Not if he makes that move as they're going for the plant itself, but the kill and the cover is secured. And there's the swing round from above, but Noah secures the plant at 3 versus 3, and they can get out of there. Mowgli pushes up, gets traded out. Drops down on the hatch instantly into the waiting hand of Noah for the free catch. Solotov caught out as well. Secret 3 for 3.
I think that G2 and VP need to take notes. That's how it's done. Yes, they are looking to force their way into the site and go for the plant. But Secret know that you just can't do that without applying pressure above. And that's what Savage was able to do. He gets that first pick, and then it makes those Falcons player have to second guess themselves. It's not just as easy to sit and hold one angle. They have to be ready to fight the player upstairs. And yes, they were able to kill him eventually, but what did they do, Fluke? They had to move out of their positions on the verts, and then that opened up the bomb site for the Sense to move in and go for that plant. Really well played from Secret. Probably, I think, the best round of the day, in my eyes. I think the way that was done, it's a tricky bomb site if you don't know how to attack it. Certainly Secret, they made it look very, very easy. They know what they're doing.
So, a frustrated timeout here. And time for them to try and piece things back together. But as you said, it's just been very, very sharp. Very well put together. And at this point, you know, how do you try and read into this? Because the energy, we talked about it before. Secret, hyped up. Closer and closer to achieving the dream of beating this team. I know that they haven't done it before, but we're painting a story here.
Of course.
And then at the same time, the way this has opened up, they've had rounds that have been perfectly clean, flawless. They've had rounds that have been a bit scrappy, and they've had rounds where they've been on the back foot and called it back. They've had all 3 different elements, and all of it has come up into their favor. They must be on, you know, cloud 9 right now. Not the team.
I was going to say, they're on Secret. They're not on cloud 9.
Oh yeah, they're on Secret. They're on cloud Secret right now.
Cloud Secret. Secret 9.
Secret 9.
There you go.
Sounds like
10 seconds
a
left.
book.
Secret 9.
Yeah, but like, you know how like Magnificent 7, Hateful 8?
Secret,
The Secret
Attackers are
9.
heading out to defuse
Don't know
the
what
bomb.
for 10, but then we got Ocean's 11.
Oh,
Ocean's
12.
12.
yeah, they kind of just, they got lazy with that naming, didn't they?
Yeah. Well, it's like this,
dear.
it's a missed naming opportunity. similar to what was the Magician movie where they for a long time refused to Now You See Me and then Forever, and then they called the second one Now You See Me Too and didn't go with Now You Don't, and it's what are they doing? But now they have gone with, I think, Now You Don't. Anyway, unrelated, 3-0, we've had our timeout. Secret on the up and up, but Falcons, can they try and steady this defensive ship to get themselves an even half?
Big ask. It really is. Any Secret? They're on course to even try and get a 5-1 split in attack, which would be... You're almost burying them at that point. You know, Falcons just under so much pressure if they then have to try and pull it back from 5-1 down on their second half on the attacks.
Special charge. Stay clear.
For Secret, just one round at a time. Step by step. Brick by brick. The Secret have another go at this top floor. Last time for Secret, it was, I want to say, a bit of a toss away round from Falcons. Falcons players needlessly swinging for no real reason. Just like to see the Falcons players sit in their hands. This time Mowgli has been able to get the breach open and also live. He hasn't been swung this time around. Why do I speak? Why do I speak?
He got swung by the player who moved out, but Savage instantly gets them back and puts some pressure in from Ops. They tried to move under the buck. That's just that was procedural with the steps, but look at the health of Doom. Fights through floorboards are always scrappy, and it's nothing that he can really survive on an extended method. So they have the breach, they have the cross, but they do not have the stairs, and that is that important final factor. And of getting Savage, get themselves in a sticky situation, just keeps going on towards the soft. Doom is down on the stairs and things out at least a little, but with 40 seconds and still a man advantage, just gonna try and get themselves out of there. But the slow recollection on towards where the kit was dropped, and now the position of power itself. But as soon as they try and make a play here, they've got to bait some motion out. That's what they're trying to get. Adrian wants to push onto the back of this bait. Can he net one? Oh, the double take! Unlucky, but Falcons, and you can see how much it means to them. They steady things for now, get their first defensive round win.
Yeah, it was a big kill on Adrian. He needed to win that. If Adrian was able to pick off that smoke, then it could have been potential plant then for Secret. And yeah, not the easiest time then for Falcons. So yeah, Falcons players stepping up that time, being able to get their kills. See that Secret, like you mentioned, it was just that staircase. That was what they really missed out on. We've seen G2 do it really well, where they were able to apply pressure with more of the utility operators. And Ying have a really good time over there. Probably lacking a bit of bathroom pressure more than anything, I think, for them to go for that. I still think Mowgli just getting swung on the breach again doesn't help Secret. I think that's also quite a big blow to them. You're just giving away that opening pick with really nothing in return. You know, Mowgli didn't even shoot a bullet, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of like a fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me situation. Fool me 3 times, shame back on you.
5 seconds remaining.
Taking advantage. Down to the basement. And this was a flawless last time, and you know, you sort of commented on the loose roam, commented on the players sort of trying to find fights elsewhere. EFAC looking for the revenge swing on the player who got caught out. He's not far away from that door this time, but they're probably not going to be sort of loose about it. Instead, oh, very quick pressure either side. Is he going to try and do a Loira and hold out?
So early util getting popped. Again, that's Twitch Throne. Always a strong operator to bring in to deal with that going. It's going to be the best counter to him. And for Secret, does look to be a different approach though. Just look at their lineup. It's no vertical operators being brought in, not a buck, not a sledge, not a ram. So it is going to be a horizontal take. Now with the operator that they have being the Glaz, that's going to be their surprise factor. And if they can try and hide that Glaz, there's the right moment. And talk about right moments, EFAC looks away at the wrong moment, and Adrian with 2 big kills. Maybe the pistol with the third. Yes, he does. Shite goes swinging, and he's the one who takes the punch.
What is up with scrappy pistol fights this game? And now a 4 versus 2 and Secret, they just want to keep rolling. Pressure's about to hit the top of Users, so he pulls himself away. They're going to double up, maybe try and fight their way out, but they're worried about the chance at, well, the air jab on the door sure is one thing. Oh, and also that. Oh my word, Secret, systematic, absolute destruction of the players down. But also, let's be real, Adrian with a 4K, yeah, it's nice to have.
Oh, Adrian is in the flow zone. He really is. Look, EFAC got really unlucky timing though as well, didn't he? He was looking at the window. As soon as he looks away, the guy jumps in. Oh, you feel for him. But Shaiko, that third pick, losing to the pistol. If you're going for that swinging commit, you need to make, I mean, so unlucky for EFAC, isn't it? We'll actually see, you know, Adrian should be dead. He should never win that with a pistol. Just whiffs from Shaiko. My word.
It's been tough. It's been tough for Shaiko today, and
Bomb located by attackers.
you know, here's that sort of bit of growth moment from the side of Secret. 4-1 on their attack half. Just have the ability to keep going, and obviously remember that, you know, this was their map. This was where they wanted to bring the fight to, and Falcons opting for their defense first. They've still got, in their minds, potentially the tougher back end of this game.
Let's say 5-1 was a potential scoreline for Secret, and it still is. And look at the bomb site that Falcons have chosen. It's the bomb site that I thought was the best round of the day, just in terms of
Bringing hell online.
I would say stylistic siege and just how a round does look so well whenever it comes off.
Is it going to be a Leo Telestrator, do you think?
Oh, I think it could be.
He's
This round though, I don't think it maybe will have the same I want to say professionally to it, because it's got to be a prep walk from Jum on that Nook to maybe he can find some picks. And again, we know what Jum is like, the face shifter. But the King Rat also is more of a street name, I believe.
They bite. EFAC gone in a frustrating manner is only gonna add layers to what is already a very stressed man. Now they want to try and push the fight on towards the top. They sort of left us until late last time, and there's a chance at a retake. Oh, and it's Users. Very important fight to win out. The pressure's still around him, but he doesn't need to exert. He doesn't need to extend anywhere. As of yet, he can sort of sit. There goes Solotov, though. The play of the grenade! Mowgli
Going.
snaps shut around Bride, and Shaiko with barely any health does get some revenge. Users does find Adrian as well. Both of them pretty hurt. And Users dropped and finished a 2 versus... I was gonna say almost none. They have all the pings, all the read, and Shaiko just goes for it again. Why?
How many times in this game have we seen Falcons players just full sprint at who knows what?
Because
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. That's not one for a Leo Telestrator. That's one for just Leo to explain to me. But he might just say, I don't know as well. 5-1. Secret. And, you know, Falcons, there's only so much that you can sort of see.
Over. I want to say it's over. Just because, yes, I know comebacks happen. I get that.
Yep.
But this is so dominant from Secret.
It's also not like Falcons.
Every metric is in favor of Secret. Everything. How on earth are Falcons just gonna flip the switch and all of a sudden play like absolute beasts to turn this around? And then you also have to be hoping that Secret then just lose all composure. And that's not going to happen either. Secret, I think, have come in today and they are up for this game. They are up for it. I think the passion that you've seen on the webcams has shown that.
Well, there'll be, you know, we'll see how long it lasts, but there's probably if they
10
do
seconds
win
to go.
this, obviously the progression into the game that will follow in that
seconds
fight
left
for our
before
first
insertion.
final spot against G2. And they've said it on the interview, you know, they would rather play against Falcons. At this point, they're probably doubly so with how good Secret have been. Will it become a question of Secret have warmed themselves up and are going to hit that G2 game like swinging fists? Or was it all for sort of this drive? And to be honest, we're sitting at this moment. Obviously, the game is still in progress. But they feel in some manner on this map that they are just getting started, Demo. That's that sort of thing about if they're going back into another best of 3 afterwards, they're going to be running hot.
It's all about morale and building up that snowball. Just keep on crushing past everyone you're up against for Secret. Now, we do start off in towards that top 4 defense, and for Secret in their lineup, I'm seeing a quad C4 lineup. So that's what they're going to try and play with. And you look at Jum downstairs with his C4, he's going to be looking for an opportunity. Falcons are obviously going to be very centric around where this Blackbeard is going to push in from. It is really on that operator, and he also has the diffuser as well. Right now for Falcons, they're just trying to do the drone work and pretty sure they can try and cover off the flanks if possible, which we know lie on a big map with plenty of staircases. That's one thing that you can certainly abuse in this map is the flanks. And Solotov, who has not had a great day at the office, another opening death.
They lose their hard breach. At this point, how much should Solotov... Adrian. Ready for an engagement. There's the pressure coming from underneath. The buck does some...
Changing mags.
No, how did he...
Wow.
Okay.
The cojones on that man.
I still don't know how he got away with that, but at the same time, Adrian kills Shaiko in the same moment, and now Users, to be fair, has been trying to keep himself on the sort of killing game here, but Brede and EFAC haven't been able to really find anything.
Go on,
So we've got to see if the 3 of them can work together, you know, pinch out a player, put some pressure on. It's just goading and basing, and yeah, Savage, Noah, Adrian, all of them half health. But with 30 seconds, push is coming to shove, and Savage blinded, but had the wherewithal to know and take it all. EFAC gets 1, pre-fires onto the second, but has to pull back. The players are separated, there's the second. Drives himself forward in towards the site, but 18 seconds and Brede is stuck. There's Adrian getting the end of EFAC, a double kill, and they know the man is stuck in the bathroom. They can just peel away. They can hold either side of this. It's at 180 degrees. Okay, well, I'm not sure he's not entirely been swung on, but the time is the winner. And it's just fun for Secret. 6-1.
Oh, just wrap it up. Put a bow on it. Leave it underneath the tree till Christmas. This is as good as done. Just Falcons. Nobody's stepping up to the plate. Nobody really seems interested in winning this game. I mean, Solotov dying first as the ace. Why is he on ace in the first place? You know, was that as the player that he is, where he wants to get aggressive? And also for Solotov, whenever he's going to be frustrated because he hasn't played well today, he's almost going to be chasing for kills. He wants to try and get kills to get his team back on top. But as we know, things can go from bad to worse very easily in this game. We've all been there. Everyone's played a game where just nothing's happening for you. And if you keep trying to force kills, you're just going to keep just getting sat down in your arse just constantly.
Look at just this sort of stat spread as well of Secret. Obviously, it's a 6-1 victory, but you know, Noah 7-2, Savage 7-3, Adrian 8-4, June 6-3.
10 seconds remaining.
Mowgli doesn't need to pop off, but everybody else just
5
does
seconds
such a
left.
solid handle on it. It's not a single or 2 players that are having these outstanding games. Secret's game is so well interconnected and interposed against everything Falcons wish to try and do. They haven't just taken the bird and caged it. They've put it in a dark room and said, this is our time now. But Falcons, what else do they have left? Can they try and find the light and fly their way out of danger? There'll be a bit of focus towards maybe the loose player. There's a long track to Adrian, but Shaiko suffers most out of it. Now, well, whistle all you like, but you're just singing a bloodied tune right now.
Few minutes, and Falcons are attempting what looks to be a horizontal take, using that Blackbeard as that main pushing force, but he will be met with Secret's own shield being that clash, of course. Great counter to the Blackbeard. Once those stuns come in off the taser, then it will force his shield away from his face and make for a very easy pick. So for Falcons, that's going to be the main thing they need to try and overcome. We've really got nades in the pocket of users as Shaiko's already used one of his, and I think Shaiko's really going to be in and around his team to try and assist with that. He's going to be hunting for kills upstairs with those roamers, and oh, what are you doing? Mowgli just tries to charge down a Blackbeard. Gets bashed up against the wall.
It was a bold move, Mowgli, but it hasn't paid off, so there isn't really a but there. Okay, they have a gift. They have a lead-in of a kill. There's a second. Efat gets Adrian from the crosswatch and tries to move in case somebody goes for the flank, but they held a tight corner. They held the second. Doom gets two. Can't get his way out there. Leaves Jost and Noah alive. He isn't going to be able to get anything more. A second round falls into their favor. 6-2. Still a distance to go, but
yeah, roam game didn't really pay off massively there for Secret. Allowing that Twitch to get in with that hatch. So yeah, a little bit weird there from Secret to give so much away. And I see the timeout be called as well. Still, I think Secret just shouldn't be worrying yet. Still 4 rounds that Falcons need to come back from. As a massive, massive ask from them. But still, Twister sees it fit. He wants to go for the timeout.
I think it you know, to just talk about what needs to be done for the edge of it, right? Sure, they get to have the timeout after they have a conversation, but when else are you theoretically going to have this? If you want to have this conversation, you have it in a 6-3, and they've won 2 rounds, it's even worse. They have more that they can build on. Get them while it's still a bit touchy. Get them while you still weren't a million miles away. It was a 5-3 with silly moments like that. It became, at one point, a sort of 3-2, and you know, if Doom had found the right way out there, if they maybe still had a gun a little bit later on, who knows how things would have gone. Just slow it down a bit as we fall on towards the side that's seen some questionable moments, I think.
Ten seconds remaining.
So basement is going to be off limits here for Secret. They want to immediately select into this bunks defense now, and
Attackers are
okay,
moving
praised
to defuse the
how well
bomb.
Secret were able to attack this. And we have, of course, seen how VP and also G2 attacked it earlier. Now it's Falcons' time to shine on this attack and see how they want to go about things. Immediately, no smokes on the side of Falcons. Now G2, they did try something similar, didn't they, Fluke? Where they tried to just plant directly using only flashbangs, but there isn't even any flashbangs either. It's a lot of nades, a lot of impact EMPs. It's going to have to be a top-down clear. That's the only way I can see Falcons winning this attack. Has to be.
I mean, you can't just ignore the holes in it, and you know that you could put pressure onto these Secret players. You know also that, well, they're doing things like that, they're being adventurous, they're trying to swing out, sometimes to their own detriment. That is something that you can close down on your Falcons. You know this game. You know this game better than pretty much anybody. And at this point, it's seeing if they can, get the lead in, but it's a trade out. It's frustrating there for, I think, both of the 2 players, but Probably more so for the IGL. No more calls, no more of that consideration gone, and those cap cans will still be a threat.
Oh, Shaiko just trying to face check a shotgun isn't gonna help. Down he goes. And Secret establish that man lead. Falcons, they know where they want to go. They're going to try and double up. See if they can try and force their way in through server. Oh, Jum gets taken out from the vert. See, I don't think he was aware that Uzix was in that position. Another feed goes in. Will spot out Adrian, but no one. Adrian both fine too, and Brede has it all to play for.
Look at that.
Nowhere near it.
How long has it been? How far have they traveled? And here they get to sit. Oh, Mowgli. Just gonna, I mean, regardless of how the rest of the day goes, I think he's pretty chuffed, but he'll probably still want that position in that final. Secret 2-0 against Falcons.